Hello there, and thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and boy, I'll tell you, I guess I'm always holding a piece of history in these video blogs, but what a piece of rock and roll history. Boy, an extremely early concert poster for the Rolling Stones from the summer of 1963. They had one single to their name at this point, Come On, the Chuck Berry cover, and fortunately it's mentioned on the poster, which is really fun. But it never even got into the British Top 20. That would have to wait for their second single. Boy, this is so early. The Stones had just signed to Decca Records only 3 months ago. Let me give you a quick top to bottom scan here. And you can see, look at that. You got two unknown artists, one somewhat known, and then the world's greatest rock and roll band eventually right there in the middle. Just got to absolutely love that. Wow. So this is a standard marquee style poster, and it's from this one particular one hails from Woking, England, which is way out on a suburb, a southwest edge of London, so still within striking distance of London. And as you can see, it's yellow paper with printing on there of green, red, and black, printing and graphics, I should say. And, just like they were back then, this thing is made of really thin paper, just almost fragile thin paper, sort of like tissue paper, not much difference. In fact, let me take just a second and show you how thin this is. Yeah, look at how thin this paper is. Boy, you can just see right through it with no effort at all. So, with paper this thin, it can obviously be easily damaged. And indeed, this one has things like tape residue and torn away corners and things like that. But something, you know what I'm going to say, who cares, right? I mean, yeah, try to find your Bill Graham posters in mint condition, but when it comes to stuff this few and far between, collectors absolutely take it in any condition they can get it, absolutely. Okay, as you can see from the top there, in the big red letters, it does say Atalanta Ballroom. What's really funny is I use Bill Wyman's books, the bass player for the Stones, for reference. He wrote a couple of great ones, Stone Alone and the coffee table book Rolling with the Stones. Matter of fact, I'm going to use them on camera in a minute. But Bill, he kept diaries and stuff. He refers to this in both books as the Atlanta Ballroom. I'm mistaking it with the American city in Georgia, but no, it very much is the Atalanta Ballroom. And as a matter of fact, how's this for a feather in the cap? A photograph, a vintage picture of the Atalanta. Look at this, from the day, huh? Yep, that's right. That's where the Stones played for this poster. Just amazing. You can see Atalanta on the side of the building, and above that, it's kind of funny, it's cute. It says, Ladies and Gentlemen's Hairstylists on the first floor. Telephone, Woking 1927. Just amazing. And then off to the right, I don't know if you can quite see that, but above the Coca-Cola sign, you can partially see a sign that obviously says, Dancing Atalanta. So that's really fun. So anyway, it's the Atalanta Ballroom in Woking, England, and as you can see, it does say forthcoming attractions for 4 consecutive Mondays, and that's in black print across there, and then the 4 attractions begin. And as you can see, the top act there is Mal Ryder and the Spirits, but check out the wording those guys got. How'd they swing that? Decca Recording Artistes of Crybaby Take Over, with one set of quotes, which is kind of weird because they're 2 different song titles, and a matter of fact, the A and the B side of their Decca single this summer. And that did not chart, and in fact, Mal Ryder never did chart anything on the British charts. And so, pretty much just a fleeting flash in the pan, I suppose. But then, you've got anything but with the Rolling Stones, but less love in the wording. I mean, look at that. By the way, the 1963 is penciled in by somebody a long time ago there after their date above the Stones' name. But the Stones, they're not artistes, I'm sorry, and they only warrant 1 song title, not 2. Again, Come On being the cover of the 1961 Chuck Berry song. But how blasé, right? Instead of recording artistes or something, it's Decca Recorder of Come On. I mean, that's just so, where's a little bit of hyperbole or something? I mean, on these posters all the time, you're seeing things like Hit Recording Act or Hit Recorders of Come On or something. So that's really funny to see that. But of course, you know what I'm thinking. In retrospect, this just makes the whole thing all the more fun. The fact the Stones were so downplayed and so nobodies. at this time. Okay, to quickly just explain the other two acts real quickly, you do have Rockin' Henry, or Henri, and the Hayseeds. And it doesn't say Decca, but they had one Decca single this summer, which did not chart, went nowhere. In fact, they only released one Decca single, and then at least chart-wise certainly vanished from the landscape. But on the other hand, the bottom billed act, if you know your British pop history, heavens, Duke Dumont and the Barron Knights, boy, they had a long career. They were somewhat of a humorous pop group, if you will, and they started charting the next year in 1964, and they charted right into the early 80s and kept on touring well beyond that as well. Then at the bottom, pertaining to all four nights, it does say doors open at 8 p.m., and then even smaller than that is the printer's credit down there, which says Arthur's, located in Woodchester, Stroud. And you know, that rang a bell, and so did the whole look of the poster. So does this ring a bell for you? Another poster made by Arthur's in the summer of '63, actually late spring, summer of '63. Look at the layouts, how identical they are. And you might recognize somebody on this poster. This is from exactly 2 months earlier in 1963. And the Beatles were, yep, the attraction of the year. But this is a photograph of a poster that's the same size and made by the same printer. So how fun is that? That's just really, you know, it's the same thin paper, you know, it's the same color scheme. It's just obviously just all done within a few weeks of each other. So let's take this marvelous early Rolling Stones concert poster and set it in the context of other known early Rolling Stones concert posters. Happily using Bill Wyman's coffee table book now, the only known Stones poster that's older than the one I'm showing you is from the Richmond Jazz Festival, 3rd annual, from only 1 week earlier. And as you can see, you know, is it a Stones concert poster? I suppose it is by definition, but, you know, they're basically just line listed with about 20 other acts. And then right after the Woking poster, in fact, the very next day, Tuesday the 20th, there's a couple of concert posters from the Ricky Tick Club. One of them blue, the one I'm showing you, and then when the club changed location, they made another poster in red fashion here. And as you can see, they're definitely somewhat crude and primitive, even punkish, and sort of harken for me to the Exile on Main Street cover a little bit. And Brian Jones actually missed at least a couple of these shows due to illness. And the next documented Rolling Stones concert poster, as you can see, is from August 30th, actually in Liverpool, where the Stones were opening for Brian Poole and the Tremolos. But, alas, this show was cancelled because of a fire at the Tower Ballroom. And after that, the next known poster, here we go, is a month away actually, there's a jump of a month there, to September 27th. And as you can see, it does say Teen Beat Night 63. But, once again, cancelled, at least for the Stones, I should say, because they opted instead to do another taping of the TV show Ready, Steady, Go. And the next known Rolling Stones concert poster, once again documented by all the books and websites, is the October Tour Blank, which actually had the very end of September and the very beginning of December as well. This was the Stones' first organized UK tour, and they were third billed to the Everly Brothers and Bo Diddley. So they are third billed, but it's a very lovely horizontal blue poster. And then after that, you're into November. So this documentation does not include handbills and flyers, you know, the smaller posting items and handouts. This very much focuses just on larger concert posters. And I want to be sure and point out that, you know, I don't want my video blog to be too dated years from now. Earlier posters could quite easily turn up, you just never know. I mean, heavens, this Woking show here was the Rolling Stones, according to Bill Wyman's diaries, which are very accurate, 177th performance. Wow, and it's only their second known concert poster, or perhaps by some measures their first. But, you know, but a lot of those 177 performances, though, there weren't like independent concerts out in the countryside. They were clubs, the Marquee Club, and residencies and youth groups and stuff for which no concert poster certainly would have been made. Thanks a lot for dropping by. It's Stones History today, and I loved every second of it. Hope you did too. Have a nice day. See you again soon. Bye-bye.